Hello and welcome to Sporting Jibberish. I'm Stu Booth.
I'm Charlie.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know, you just kind of there's a bit of a delay and a slap of the lips and off we go.
I was just
Is that how you always start, is it?
a quick part start of the show, so yeah, I'm looking good in pink for Pink Thursday.
Pink Thursday, I've been looking at that on the YouTube videos. Everybody just thinks I've obviously only got one shirt, but it is Pink Shirt Thursday at school.
Yeah,
For us collar workers.
yeah. I have a collar. What are you on about?
You should have one like when England, the cricketers played like the pink test in South Africa. They changed their kit to pink, so maybe you lot should have a pink version.
Maybe just get I'll tell you what, a pink sweatband would be.
Yeah, just something. Come on,
Yeah,
get it sorted.
I'll have a look. Anyway, right, now we've stopped talking absolute drivel.
Gibberish.
Yeah, gibberish as normal. We're on with the show, so today's show, Premier League, Champions League. Interesting week, Champions League. Most valued two teams going against each other. One was worth 999 million, and the other one was worth over 100
billion.
Was it 100 billion? Or
100 million. 100 million.
1,000 million?
That's a billion, isn't it?
Is that billion?
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, so that was...
You're the mathematician. Come on, standard deviation everywhere.
Type this into Excel. Yeah, so that happened, so we'll have a little look at that. Bridle Cup came in well. Less said about it, probably the better, but we'll have a little chat about that. Joshua fought. We were completely wrong. We'll cover that. Little bit of an interesting thing that's happening on Saturday.
Yes.
So we'll talk about that. It's to do with cycling. I'm going to go along.
Very good.
And Jack wants to talk about ageing sport, but we'll leave that for the time being.
It's not about us.
Yeah, we are very old, but not as old as what we're going to talk about. This week in sport, so Bluffmeister. So we went to...
You start. Come on,
No, we've got to go with you. So
come on.
So I've worked out the key.
I know what you're going to say.
On Friday, went to the Radisson Red to celebrate a few beverages. So Luffman spends his Friday afternoon with me with a few beverages, a little bit of pep talk in the pool, psyching him up, built him up a little bit, gets up Saturday morning, turns around, and he goes and scores 60. What a guy. So I'm just completely taking claim that he sold out to me in the pool talk.
So what we're doing tonight, it's a game tomorrow.
Go to the pool, have a few beers, and we'll talk about how good you are, Jack.
Oh, brilliant.
I think it was me and Larkin were actually having a poppy saying you were going to score a none or something like that at one point.
So I was going through my head first ball. No.
Yeah. But yeah, great result.
Very good.
Happy with the bat?
Yeah. Personally, really happy. 60 off 42, 45 balls, something like that. It was warm though. Not much sleep either. 4 or 5 hours sleep, but it was so hot. Pleased with actually getting through. Well, I think about 17 overs in that, so that was decent. I was a sweaty mess, man. I couldn't get my shirt off.
Well, I saw the picture afterwards. It looked like a wet T-shirt competition gone wrong.
Yeah, it got very wrong. But yeah, I was in it. But that was good. Enjoyed it. Two really good partnerships, the first two that set us up. So yeah, and then we managed to get over 200 as a team, which is the magical figure, I think. And then good, showed a bit. I always fancied us. They have got to a decent start. Got 2 wickets in the power play, which is always good. And then it looked like we were on to. He just kept chipping away. And Avi, he's only his second game back for 7 years, took 5 wickets. And then they just had a bit, as they can do in this, somebody down the order just come in and start whapping it. Took 20 in an over. And it wasn't a bad over either. It just hit it and it kind of like, nip and tuck now. But to be fair, and the heat, I just can't explain to you how hot it was. We had one lad had to go, we had a 12 man lead. The bowler who bowled 5 overs had to go off. Then we had to replace him. He had a break, somebody else come on because people were just seeing stars and stuff like that. And then at the same time, we're like, we've still got a game to win here. They got it to like about 8 and over at one point, which isn't a lot. And then Nav and Clint came on and did, bowled the desk superbly. And in the end, we won very comfortably. So it was good. It was a good win to get the first W in the thing. It was a good performance, and also it was quite nice to actually. We did get put under a bit of pressure in the field there towards the end, so that's hopefully stands us in good moving forward.
Against an established team as well.
TCC, yeah, who prior to this group would say they're probably there alongside the favourites, along with Valley Boys, who we beat previously. Because somebody was saying that the Valley Boys are they're just being named themselves, so they're probably the favourites for the whole of our section because we're in sort of 2 groups in that section. Yeah. But so we've probably played 2 of the strongest sides thus far, and we've got 1 win, so that's good.
Good stuff.
Really pleased.
And next game? Tomorrow?
Tomorrow, Friday, 1:30 start. Masters Reds. So,
What do you want to do? Do you want to go out and bat in that heat, or do you want to get the fielding done?
I'd get the fielding done, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Just hopefully it cools off a couple of hours
The
later.
only thing is that actually, we did it on Saturday morning, is that we are a little, other than some president excluded, we are a lot younger than all the teams and a lot fitter. So we just ran ragged in the field. And we won better between the wickets than the other side. So there is that option. But it's so, we all know playing football, that it got to the point after about 15, 16 hours, I couldn't get my heart rate down or the heat. Drinks, or you feel alright, between overs, deep breaths. As soon as you did like a jog for a single or anything like that, heart rate up again, and roasting hot inside the helmet. So I don't know, it's going to be hot still, isn't it? So you just have to suck it up, get on with it.
Yeah, certainly do.
Yeah, looking forward to it. What about yourself? Didn't play last night, did you?
No, we had an internal game. I'm still struggling a bit with the Achilles, so I volunteered because our third/vets, it was the third team that were playing, but they were short of a few players, so they asked for a few vets to join in, and it was against Harry's club's under-18 team. So I was like, yeah, you know what, pop me in, I'll play. And I was like, it's all right, it doesn't feel too bad today. I can get on my tiptoes. I think I showed you a great time now. I was like, look, I'm on my toes. And then Harry got a call up last minute. So Harry played in the game, so we started the game, and Harry didn't start the game. And it was quite a close game, both teams trying to play some football. I think as a vet, we're taught really to keep and look after the ball and keep it for a long time. And I think some of the thirds tend to go a little bit more direct or a little bit longer and play to channels. But when vets are chasing after it, we can't quite get there. So I played along centre half with a lad called Jordan, and he wasn't the worst, he'd play square, but whenever I played it across to him, his initial thought was to go forward with it. And then he'd try and play channel balls in, and he's got a vet as a centre forward and a third team player on the right wing who wasn't all that, to be honest. And gave the ball away a few times, and then one lad had a ropey touch. Somebody, I think, did Wolby on the edge of the box, and this lad smashed it home, put us 1-0 down. Harry came on, gave him a little bit. I gave him a little bit. No, that video I showed you. I gave him a little bit of a kiss in the first half. And the referee pulled me up for a free kick, and then second half started, and I saw my opportunity.
Well, so first of all, that
The camera angle is deceiving.
You've explained to why I didn't realise that. I thought like he was playing for you in an inter-club game, but it was actually like a proper friendly, if you like. Got you. So that explains that.
So it's Kirk Hilton's team, the one that we've interviewed
for Manchester United. Yeah. So he's playing up front for the under-18s, and you're for the thirds. Got it. The video, you put it on. You ought to put it on because it's a short clip. He just nails his own boy from behind.
Well,
did he get a free kick?
No, he didn't get a free kick, because the funny thing is the camera angle looks like I took both his legs out. But what's actually happened is, as he's turned and opened up his body, he's opened it up for me, and the camera angle's not good. I've actually come through the correct side of him, so he's rolled, and I've come across that side as he rolled in, and I just literally connected with the ball first, but as I've connected with the ball, it's kind of, my legs just took both of his feet from underneath him, so he's decked it, and they're booing from the side of the it's like panto time. Kurt was like, boo, referee, that's a foul, and then all the lads were joining in. But the funniest bit was Harry went in for a challenge with Wolby, and Harry's put his feet up. I said put his feet up, he's probably just lifted his knee up. And Wolby's going to head the ball, and Harry's nearly kicked Wolby in the head. So the referee's got a high foot, which Wolby's like 3 foot, so it's not really high. And then Wolby's turned around and grabbed the leg and went, what are you doing? And then this winger's come bombing in, he's going, push Wolby, get off him, he's only 14. I said, Wolby's going, I work with his dad.
I mean, Wolby bottled it.
Yeah, but yeah, it was good. It was a good run out. It was interesting. I think for me, it was a good 90 minutes. But I tell you, my Achilles went in the first half, and you can see, if you watch the video through, you can see that I pick the ball up and I go forward a lot, and then you can see when I just go, I'm not running anymore. I'm just going to stop. And I was going to come off at half time, and as I'm walking towards the gaffer, he says to me, "Give me 10 minutes. We'll sit you in front." I was like, "Oh, I'm staying on. I'm staying on." But the only chance I had was ball came through to me, and Harry's mate, we picked up for football, Zang, flagged me offside.
Oh.
I've looked at the video, I am not off. I'm like,
Zang.
I'm literally, touch is nice, I pretended to shoot and I dragged the ball across my ball, and the keeper's led down, and then the whistle goes, and I just flicked it at the keeper like in anger. Keeper thinks he's made a save, and I'm like, what? But yeah, he's done me a treat.
So he's not coming out for tea anymore.
I did shout at him at the halfway line. I was like, "You're walking on from sevens." But yeah, yeah, it was good. It was a good game. It was a good run out. And I think at the end of it, you know, it wasn't about the result for us. Messi just walked off and was like, another 90 minutes in the bag. Killy's not quite there, so I missed last night for that. I'm missing Sunday night because first game of season next Wednesday.
Oh, right.
So we play the Bears in the first game of season on Wednesday night. So all guns pointing towards that now. So rest and recoup up until that point. But yeah.
Very good. Look forward to see how it goes.
Yeah. So all fun. But right, shall we start with Premier League or Champions League?
I mean, Spurs aren't really involved in either, so I'm not that bothered.
Okay, right. Well, we'll start with Champs. We'll start with Champions League. This is where you could be at. I think the biggest potential game, if and when, the biggest game of over the last 2 days is definitely going to be Paris Saint-Germain versus Manchester City. I don't know who and how they value these teams, but one was 999 million and the other one was 1 billion. 1 billion, we haven't got a clue. It's one and lots of zeros. The result finished Paris Saint-Germain 2, Man City 0, which for anybody looking from the outside in makes it look like it's quite comfortable. But in fact, City had enough chances to win the game 3 times over. And then Messi's obviously opened his tally with a great goal.
Is that where...
A number 9. Yeah.
Because, I mean, there's no doubt that in the Premier League at the minute you would say that they're getting away with it, like they did last year.
Well, you say that, but then there was a draw with Southampton.
True. And they only beat Leicester 1-0.
Yeah.
And obviously now, like you said, I didn't know that. I've not seen any of the football this week, to be fair. But
so
interesting.
It's very, very interesting. And obviously, Paris Saint-Germain, we said that, but it was 2 midfielders that scored for PSG. Well, you say midfielder, attacking midfielder for Messi, and the other one was Gay, who's defensive midfielder. So it wasn't exactly.
Oh, the one who was at Everton.
Is it Gay that was at Everton? I don't know.
Yeah,
if it was him. Guy, I think it is. Yeah. So it was interesting the fact that no strikers really scored that night. And then the other games we'll quickly run through. Leipzig lost to Club Brugge. Liverpool, great result at Porto. Yeah. It's funny because Porto tend to be very strong at home, but Liverpool's last 3 results, including this one, have been 5-0 and 4-1.
Battered them.
So it's never it's almost like Porto have this fear around Europe that it's supposedly a hard place to go, but Liverpool always seems to be quite an easy place.
That's born from, dare I say, the Mourinho era, isn't it? When they made it with a fortress and obviously won it, didn't they?
And an interesting result there, Milan losing at home to Atletico Madrid with a last minute goal. I think it was last minute penalty, wasn't it, for Atletico?
That's the big result at the bottom there, right?
Yeah, Ajax 2, Besiktas 0, Dortmund 1, Lisbon 0, Shakhtar 0, Inter Milan 0, Real Madrid 1, Sheriff Tiraspol.
I don't even know where they're from. I've never even heard of them.
I don't know if they're not Turkish, are they?
Turkish?
I want to say Turkish.
Moldova.
But yeah, that's a horrific result in terms for Real Madrid. But then Spanish teams are not doing well. And if we'll go straight to the fact that Barcelona got beat away to Benfica 3-0 quite comfortable.
Did you see?
Ronald Koeman must be on the chopping block.
Did you see his comment?
Well, please don't compare us to Barcelona. We're not Barcelona.
Yeah,
we're not Barcelona.
People within the club don't think we're as good as what we used to be or something, or we're not real Barcelona. We need to do better, but we're not winning the Champions League.
Yeah, they're miles off it. I think
they are miles off it, but I don't know what it is.
It's a bit of a defeative.
Does he want to get sacked?
It's a defeative attitude, isn't it?
Of course it is.
And then Bayern again won. Lewandowski scored a couple. Atlanta beat Young Boys. United scraped a last minute winner through Ronaldo against Villarreal. Red Bull Salzburg beat Lille 2-1, Wolfsburg 1-1 with Seville, St. Petersburg 4, Malmo 0, and Juventus, even though they had a few injury problems, they had no centre forward line, they ended up playing Chiesa as a striker, ended up beating Chelsea.
And he was brilliant, don't they?
That's a great result for Juventus, especially when you think the run Chelsea have been on lately, obviously apart from the weekend result.
Yeah, that's 2 defeats in a row, isn't it now?
Yeah, interesting for Champions League, I think. For the most part, you would have backed the majority of them.
Yeah. You're not backing. You'd have bet Madrid to win, though, wouldn't you?
Yeah, and I wouldn't have expected Barcelona to get beat by so many, I think.
I'd have thought Man City would have got something at Paris Saint-Germain, because it's not as if PSG are flying themselves at the domestic or the early Champions League games.
This kind of stuttering a little bit more. Even though they're still top and they're a few points clear, they're just not performing as you expect.
But I think that shows, doesn't it? And we're thinking right back to like the Wanderers. We've said that actually it takes time. However good a players you've got, it takes time to actually gel as a team, doesn't it? And there's been a lot of changes since Pochettino's been there, and the staff. And just because Messi comes, they've probably got the best three in the world, doesn't mean that they're going to gel together, does it?
No, not actually. But right, Premiership. So big game Saturday was Chelsea against Man City. Man City thoroughly deserved it. I thought they played really well. Chelsea, it's very strange because they were at home and just defended so deep and just never really got out. A couple of times on a quick counter attack that they looked maybe they could be a bit lively, but it was almost like they just went with, can we just shut up and maybe get on the break? But I can imagine Chelsea fans are a little bit disappointed in the fact that you're at home. Why never go at them?
Absolutely, and particularly like you said earlier, they've been playing so well and look so strong. And when Tuchel was like against Spurs, apparently he changed the game in the second half of the batters, and they've done that in the games over. Strange that.
Yeah.
Strange. This is brilliant.
This is my favourite result of the day. Manchester United 0, Aston Villa 1, and then even better was the fact that have you seen the goalkeeper?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Martinez has just had an absolute worldie there, hasn't he? So he's called out Ronaldo, saying you take it. Ronaldo's like, no, Fernandes is taking it. He's then going to blaze it 20 yards over, and then he's done a little bit of a jig in front of the Stretford end.
On its way to Ireland, I think that one, isn't it? Across the Irish Sea.
Yeah, I think it's landed, yeah.
Brilliant. But then Solskjaer doing whinging about, it's not. I don't like to see him surrounding the players. I'm like, oh my God.
This is the same United team that he played in. He used to do that all the time.
Yeah.
I tell you what he did whinge at beforehand was that they don't get as many penalties now that Klopp's mentioned it. But then I saw a stat that showed that Liverpool have had something like 7,500 touches in the opponent's penalty area and got given X amount of penalties. United was 1,000 touches in the penalty area. I'm like, well, if the ball's not in there and you're not taking touches in there, why would you get more penalties?
It's just, I've said it before and I'll no doubt say it again, and I know they won last night in the Champions League, and you said it, they will not be the force that probably that squad and the fans want with Ollie in charge. I'm not saying they won't win anything. They could quite easily win something this year because Ronaldo's obviously hit the ground running. They've clearly got some great players, particularly going forward, but they won't win any. They won't become a force with him in charge, in my opinion.
Right, we'll whiz through the other results. Everton 2, Norwich 0. Again, I think Everton didn't completely run away with that.
No.
I believe Norwich were quite in the game until towards the end. Leeds 1, West Ham 2, which was a strange game. Leeds 1-0 up, 1-1. Klitsch missed an absolute sitter. And then my main man Antonio goes and bags at the other end towards the end.
Won me a coffee, get in.
Yeah, it cost me a coffee, boo you. Leicester 2, Burnley 2, probably a good big surprise again, that result, nobody expected that.
Vardy's got
a hat-trick.
Yeah, good, well played, Jamie.
One in the wrong end though. And then Watford 1, Newcastle 1. I did anticipate Watford maybe pursuing 3 points there, and I think they probably gone into it thinking they might get. But Longstaff's hit is a hit.
Yeah, good shot.
And then what can only be described as an entertainment.
I didn't watch. Started watching it. I was watching the golf. Watched your disappointment.
Yeah, Brentford 1-0 up. With good value for it. They hassled and pressed and played all right. Then Liverpool I think they got a goal within 4 minutes of the Brentford scoring. I think it's probably the worst that can happen is you really want to shut up shot for 5-10. And then Liverpool at 2-1 up, kind of in cruise control. Then just out of nowhere, Brentford equalised. Then out of nowhere, we go 3-2 up, and then we miss a good few chances. Salah's missed an absolute sitter. We've missed a few. Keeper's made some absolute worldies. Not just after that, but during the game. He made such a good save to Jota when he had an open net. I don't know how it's not gone in. And then, it kind of being a bit of a theme of the night. So if anybody saw it, there was. Maybe this is where teams are looking at, is they kind of did a 3-man overload at the back post on Trent and Matip. So it was almost like when Matip was in his position, it looked like he was marking somebody and Trent's behind him in the right position. and then all 3 players that were coming into that area all kind of just went behind Matip and onto Alexander-Arnold, and that led to the second goal and the third goal. So unless it's complete coincidence, it looks like it's something that they've identified and they've played on, and I wonder if we'll see more of that.
What does Klopp do then? He needs to move him out. Put him on. Do they have him on the post anymore?
Well, it's not. It's almost like they're going down Alec Robertson's side and then they're hitting diags.
Yeah.
And then what they're doing is they're rolling 3 as that kind of goes out there. They're rolling 3 into the back, so they're just kind of overloading Trent. So you either slide Matip and Van Dijk across a little bit, or you just maybe look at a better defensive player like Joe Gomez as a right back and move Trent further up.
Yeah, and I think that's why I didn't know. Obviously, the last lot of international fixtures, Southgate played him in the middle of midfield, and I saw Klopp's comments saying, "Oh, why would you play the best right back in midfield?" And I can see both sides of it, because he's right. Delivery-wise, he's probably our best one there. But Southgate's probably seen what you've been saying for a while, thinking defensively he's not quite there, but I don't want to not have his ability on the ball.
Yeah, he's definitely a liability in the air. He's a massive liability. His defending's just not.
And clearly, from the middle of the park, he's going to be able to pass better than Phillips, and he'll be more incisive. So interesting how that develops. Maybe he's got to make the call himself. Potentially,
we'll see. And then Sunday we saw Wolves beat Southampton. There wasn't. Oh, there was another game.
Palace Brighton 1-1. Brighton.
No, that's
right late on. Let's go. Well, what's next on the agenda?
That kicked off, didn't it?
Yeah. That's the A23 derby.
Yeah. Arsenal 3, Spurs 1.
Oh,
you were 3-0 down before it even really started, hadn't you?
I even got changed from work and we're 3-0 down.
I was on my way to football, got there, and then somebody goes, "Oh, Arsenal Spurs game. Oh, what score is it? 2-0. I was like, "What?" And then within a couple of minutes, 3-0. I was like, unbelievable. I think that's when it takes you a walk into the pitch.
Just dreadful. First half was just utter tosh. There's no other way to describe it. To a man, including the managers, pumping long balls, defensively all over the place. You know, he's bought a right back and a centre half, and I admit, I would say that judgment's still out on both of them, but he's bought them to improve. He doesn't play them. He wants to play out from the back, so the worst person to do that is Sanchez, because he can't pass wind.
Has he not played them because it's a derby and he's trying to let them understand how important this derby is?
I don't know. I think that's just rubbish. I think that's the job of a manager. But you bring them all in, and again, he's played. He's played Højbjerg and Ndombele and Dele as the 3 midfield people. And I like to attacking for one thing, but away at Arsenal, I think he got it wrong. I said at the time it was about appointment. I would have rather. They couldn't get whoever they wanted to get, they might as well just stay with Ryan Mason, because we're not going any further forward. It's not like we're keeping hold of anybody or attracting anybody. Yeah, we've kept hold of Kane, but that was all down to what Man City were going to pay or not pay. Second half a little bit better, slightly better, and Kane just showed glimpses. Because after all of that, I said to you, and I even said to Manel at work, because of course he came to farm him Monday morning, didn't he? That it could have been 4-4. Kane's had a good header first half. That if he was on absolute form, he's put in. He's been a bit unlucky with a great touch on about the keeper. It's fallen alongside the post. There's a penalty on him. Yeah, that's not given. So, another day, and I think from the positive, I listened to Danny Murphy on Talk Sport, and he agreed exactly what he said. So Kane's an easy target because of what's going on in the summer. He can't score goals if he's not creating anything. He's been criticised for dropping too deep, which I think's been wrong. I think he's been trying to get too deep. So he stays up front and gets criticised for being lazy or not interested. You can't win. You've played up front. Yeah. But the positive side from his point of view is that he looked. You know what strikers are like. There's a goal there.
Yeah.
In the league. I mean, bear in mind, he's scored 8 goals this season, I think, for England. And,
as soon as you take him out of fantasy football, team, he's going to start scoring.
I can't win it. I'm sticking with him.
If you take him out, I'll put him in, and I'll pick a few more.
He will. As soon as I take him out, or not make him a captain, he'll score 4.
Oh yeah. Just interesting. I was having a look before about transfer rumours. In for Sam Johnson potentially West Brom.
The goalkeeper.
Yeah. Because more of a long-term replacement for Lloris, because
I don't think he's signing a contract, Lloris.
Yeah, and let's be honest, over the last few years, he's getting more and more inconsistent, isn't he?
Yeah.
And the other one is Harry Winks out the door potentially in January.
Yeah, well, he wasn't even in the match day squad. I don't think there's space for Højbjerg, Winks, and skip. The unfortunate thing the bizarre thing about the goalkeeper thing though is that we've signed another goalkeeper, Galini, although it is only a season on loan with an option to buy. But obviously, New League 2 beats it most clearly. Winks disappointing because I think 2-3 years ago, I think he's got the creativity in him, but I think Mourinho's killed him.
Wow. Right, on to this week's fixtures. There is such a good game happening this weekend. Biggest game of the season.
Go on. Liverpool Man City. I didn't realise that was Sunday.
Yeah, game week 7. What we've all been waiting for. Just happened to be injured and not been able to train.
Gaffer, are you going to start on the bench Wednesday?
Yeah, right.
Oh,
You're this good.
Like Cristiano.
Yeah. I've got them to change numbers as well around the club, so we actually released a player because he wore my number. So.
Well done.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, first game on Saturday is Manchester United versus Everton. Afternoon kick-off at Old Trafford. That'll be an interesting one. Everton kind of going well under Rafa. I'm sure he'll get booed anyway, being next to Liverpool. And they seem to be old school with going heavy on the wingers, don't they? And they're very much counter-attacking.
And they're playing well, aren't the Towns? They're great. Two players that probably have never fulfilled the potential. Really.
No, you'd say so. And Decore's also picking up a few points as well. And then the 3 o'clocks, we've got Burnley, Norwich, Chelsea, Southampton, Leeds, Watford, and Wolves, Newcastle.
I tell you what, there's some must-win games there for side. Burnley, Norwich, Leeds, Watford,
Leeds
Wolves,
looking
Newcastle.
for the first win, aren't they?
They're must-win games for some of those sides.
Yeah. Burnley, Norwich is bottom of the table clash.
Yeah.
So, even though there's not really a game that you think, ooh, that'd be tasty, I'd probably, out of them games, I'd probably fancy watching Leeds, Watford.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Just because they've both got a bit of attacking presence.
Newcastle Wolves, because it will be Lallana versus Saint-Maxim.
Yeah.
Not Lallana.
Traore.
Yeah.
But he started the bench last game.
He did, yeah.
So that'd be interesting. Then the evening game, Brighton, Arsenal.
Could be a nice game for
Ben White's returning home.
Yeah.
I say returning home, that's where he was last year. And then on Sunday is the big day, Palace versus Leicester. I don't think that's a given. Spurs kick off at the same time against Villa at home. And West Ham play Brentford. That potentially is going to be an exciting game because a lot of the West Ham players, like the Fornells, the Benarami, nice attacking, fluid players, and then with Antonio bulldozing up front.
He's a bulldozer.
Yeah, and then obviously the big game, Liverpool City, and I think in the past, and we spoke about this before on our podcast, is that when you get the big games like Liverpool United or Liverpool Chelsea, tend to be cagey affairs. Liverpool City, it tends to be, you know what, we're going to play our system, you play your system, and it's going to be the best team on the night wins. And it could be 4-0 Liverpool at the same time, it could be 4-0 Man City, and that's happened on a fair few occasions. We've been thumped at City, we've thumped City at City. We tend to do alright at Anfield. I think the one we should have lost was when Mahrez missed the penalty.
Yeah.
We ended up drawing the game. But yeah, it'll be interesting.
It'll be interesting because that's a sign as to whether you're not sure number 9 works, because you would think that Van Dijk eats up Jesus for breakfast, doesn't he?
Right, Jesus.
So will he play like a false 9?
I tell you, I saw an article this morning. It was from a crazy Liverpool fan, and he was talking about Curtis Jones. And obviously, Curtis Jones has got a lot of ability, and he was trying to compare him to Phil Foden and potentially saying that he's got more potential than Phil Foden. I was a little bit like, that's a bit premature. I know Curtis Jones has been getting a little bit better, but
very premature.
But from England's point of view, it's an exciting time. Curtis Jones, Phil Foden, Harvey Elliott, 3
Jude Bellingham.
Really, I'm talking about an attacking sense. You've got probably, if you sit Jude behind them, that's not bad.
Oh, there's lots of good players, aren't there? Definitely.
Yeah, interesting. Right, so we're going to brush up the Bridle Cup in what can only be described as a historic loss for Europe.
Incredible, really, wasn't it?
19-9. I think that's the biggest loss they've ever had, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's certainly the biggest loss, I think, since it went to Europe, because it obviously formerly GB and Ireland. Just incredible. I did watch bits on Saturday and Sunday. I mean, there's no doubt that the Americans were the better side on paper, weren't they?
Well, there was only one player that really stood out for Europe, wasn't it? It's that guy who can absolutely smash
John
it.
Long.
Yeah, he's the only one.
And he's the world number one. He played like world number one, and Garcia got on his coattails. But the interesting thing is, I saw a stat that of the 12 players, I think basically the average ranking was 7 or something in the Americans. So 10 of the 12 in the top 15, I think. And we only had 2, Rahm at 1, and I think McIlroy was 15th.
Wow.
So it's just a bad way. They were a better team, I think, there's no doubt about that. But I think Europe, there's something not quite right about Europe watching them, because usually there's the buzz, and I don't know whether but I think it's a combination of things. No, hardly any European fans there for them to feed off. That's very difficult. None of them, other than Rahm, none of them have been playing that well leading up to it. Aging, I just wonder whether lots of Westwood and Poulter just show their age a little bit, albeit they both won their singles. So Poulter's still unbeaten in singles.
He's absolutely awful on the tour.
Yeah, still unbeaten in singles. And I mean, I know they came out and said it was the greatest blah blah blah, but I don't know. There's always been a strong rumour that Harrington on the tour is not particularly well liked, very self-centred, very stubborn. And for me, when I watched some of his interviews and some of his team selections, that came across. And I think that the fact that they're all coming out and going, "Oh, it's so great," I think probably shows that it probably wasn't.
Yeah.
A bit of a cover-up.
Right.
So I'd be interested. I thought it might be next year, but because this was obviously meant to be last year's one, but they haven't. They've rescheduled it. So
for 2 more years.
23 in Rome. So I'd be interested. Westwood or Poulter for the captaincy, I think.
Oh, they think that's where it's going to head now?
I don't know.
I'd keep Poulter in there just because, like you say, he doesn't lose, does he?
No.
And he's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, he's mental. So he's unbeaten. And then Garcia actually became the highest World Cup point scorer of all time. I think he's got 24 points now. But yeah, disappointed, but it's a fabulous weekend of sport. Although not great viewing times here.
Not for you. Not when you're picking golf over Liverpool Brentford. What is wrong with you, man?
Well, just a classy man.
Right, obviously. Right, moving swiftly on to another event that happened this weekend. Anthony Joshua versus Usyk. We actually both predicted Joshua to win, just pure based on power and size, and it in fact tables got turned against him, and it was utilised that Usyk was much slicker, much faster, in and out, landing lots of nice combinations. And in fact, there is a Jibberish video going around that in the last 10 seconds of the last round, they cut it short because Joshua is against the ropes and is on the verge of being knocked out. So if you do a little bit of Google research, there's actually footage of it, and it shows that, look, this is 16 seconds, then it goes down to 9 seconds, and then when it goes down to 10 seconds, then as it goes down to 9, they take it off. And it literally goes 9, 8, ding, 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 finished. And he's literally on the ropes getting absolutely pounded. But I didn't watch it, but I have read reports and watched bits of highlights, and Usyk was just too good for him.
Yeah, I've done so. I watched a bit of highlights, read the same. I think what come out of it is actually that both boxers are really good for the sport.
Yeah.
Because he's been really humble in victory.
Yeah.
As he said, it's just a game. Everybody goes back to the family and friends. He just lost one match, blah blah. And then Joshua, as he was when he lost against Ruiz, and as he has been even as a champion, and that's his phrase, isn't it? Stay humble.
Yeah.
Just said, got it wrong, go again.
Yeah.
Not blamed anybody else. He did, but taking positives out of it, because he said he obviously ended up going 12 rounds, didn't he?
I think for me, when I look at that now and he's lost to Usyk, I just think that can only surely be one winner if he fights Fury.
It's funny, I told you Kev Fields is a big boxer, and I was saying that we mentioned it last week about his inactivity during COVID, and obviously his age is a bit now. That just, like I say, it just makes you wonder that what made Joshua special was his athleticism.
Yeah.
And age gets up to you, and it's much more difficult to take weight off, put muscle, whatever for each different thing. You wonder, don't you, whether that Joshua Fury fight's just not going to have anything on the line.
I just wonder. Yeah, it's a bit of a worry, but it's just a bit robotic, a bit stiff, just not fluid.
I tell you what, though, the Spurs Stadium looked wonderful, didn't
they? Yeah, first time being full capacity, isn't it?
Nobody won anything now either.
No. Well, bad news for anybody English there, isn't it?
Cool. So, talk to me about the bike ride. I can't make it.
Okay, so Cycling Silliness, who we interviewed Lara Bates, good
I can't believe it's a year now.
Yeah, it's been a good few months. Her and Tom Keggin set up basically a challenge for themselves to ride 20 kilometres every day for 1 year. And then the final ride is this Saturday morning, and they would have completed stupid amounts of kilometres. So I'm going to go along and join them, as Jack has got twisted toe or something like that. Can't
No, I've got to spend the day with the wife.
Oh, it's so nice. But yeah, so I'm going to go along and join them. So looking forward to seeing the gang. I think there's going to be a few people there because it is the final bike ride of the year. And to say you've cycled 365 days in a row and completed is just
it's incredible,
especially in the heat out here.
Yeah, and Keggs stayed all summer, didn't he?
Yeah.
So he was doing it in the heat.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I think they're raising it for a couple of mental health charities.
Yeah, so one is brain functions after a stroke.
Yeah.
So I know that's quite close to Laura's heart.
Yeah,
and the other one is linked with Keggin's.
Yeah.
So mental health awareness, I think it might be off the top of my head. But yeah, I'm going to pop along. I'll do a few interviews.
Yeah, okay.
I might just shout as they whiz past me on the bike, like Laura.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You're not getting on the bike yourself or not?
Oh no, I'm going on the bike. I'm going on the bike, but they'll be way faster than I am.
Oh yeah.
I'm just thinking I was thinking of maybe taking Harry's electric scooter on the side and just maybe.
Why that'd be like like when they're in the Olympics when they're on the road race, you've got the motorbikes following them. That's what you need to do.
So the other day we had trials and I'm going down and this electric Yamaha just came scooting past me on the path. It's one of the under 16s lads. It looks like a off-road bike, so it's an Alecki bike, and I was like going up the hill and just came whizzing past me. I was like, got to the top of the hill, I was like, Finn, like, do you want to go to the team? He was like, yeah, why? I went, you could have like lassoed me or something and dragged me up the hill with you. But,
I've seen you on that, yeah. Real silver shiny.
Yeah, I need to get on one of them, but yeah, it's good. But yeah, looking forward to it.
It's a hell of an effort, it really is.
Yeah,
and I must donate. I haven't done it yet. I'll do it. I promise you.
We'll put our links to Cycling Silliness, and you can follow them through there and see what goes on there. But yeah, we will tag them in to the show. Right, you've asked to talk about age in sports. There's a young man called Alan Kamsel.
Yeah, playing football in Wales, I believe. Goalkeeper, and I picked up on the story that he's 88 years old. And sorry, there's not the microphone there. There's nothing going on. 88 years old, still playing somewhere in a little village in Wales. And I said, I think I'm getting a bit old because the ball's going past me before I dive. But it's okay. I love it. I'm having lots of fun.
Some effort.
It's a great effort, even to get at 88 years old and get your kids. I mean, I love if he's got like Freds or something like that, or World Cups in the class.
He could generally play with his son and his grandson.
And his great grandson.
Wowzers. It depends on what area you're from. If you're from Lincoln, good chance he might be playing with.
Well, it's funny you say that.
Great grandson.
I think that's when my dad retired from teaching. Is when Sir Miss Luffman. Yeah. Did you used to teach so and so? Yeah, I did. Yeah, that's my great granddad.
Oh, great news.
That's it. I'm done.
That's it.
I'm done here.
Time to tap out.
But point would you think? Oldest person you've played with, played against? Similar story.
I've never played against anybody of that extreme age. I've played against some guys that have ticked it up towards 40, and there was one guy that in particular played for Charlie Richard, and his name was Robbo, and I played with him one game, and I generally thought, this guy's bobbins, he's quite fit, and we played against, before File turned to File called Kirkham, and I got sent on loan to help Charlie Richard out, we were now semi-pro along with File, and I was only 18, 19, and he was towards late 20s. Anyway, I'm like coming to the end of my retirement, this guy was still playing for Charlie Richard. And he just literally just ramped it down. He scored like so many goals, and he's had like nearly 1,000 caps for this one team. And I generally thought at that time, I was like, this guy is awful, he's not going to carry it out. They got him in midfield, but he might have just had a bad game, but he fits a filling man up and down. And then there was another guy I played with, and he joined us at Squires Gate, and he'd come in to be. He was another one that was edging towards 40.
I like the way you think it's old. He's edging towards 40.
Yeah, but at football, you're thinking semi-professional. You're doing well to play at that level. And I remember his philosophy of the pitch was like, right, okay, lads. And I'd come back to Squires Gate, having been somewhere else. It was a season I joined Fylde in the end. So he gets to the pitch and he goes, I'm going to be playing, but I'm going to be helping out, assistant manager. And then the manager goes, right, okay, he's going to talk you through this. I can't remember his name, the bald-headed guy. I knew he's bald-headed. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so he goes, right, okay, lads, and he has the full pitch thing, and he draws a third of it in the middle, basically a line either side of the centre circle. He puts lines across it.
Like Sabutia.
Yeah, so he basically the big wall chart, and he goes, you see this box here in the middle of the park? He's like, yeah. He's like, do not pass the ball into there. And someone's like, what? And someone's like, that's where I'm going to be. So he's like, yeah, no, we just kick it long. If anybody passes the ball, then you're getting dropped. I was like, oh my goodness, it was horrific. I think I went foul straight after that training session, actually. But yeah, only a couple of oldies in regards to that, but nothing 88 years old.
No, I mean, I don't ever play something 88 years ago, but there's a guy, there's a Boston Cricket Club, and I was a youngster and would have made it. First of all, I wasn't in the first team, the second and third watching, and then I didn't eventually play with him in the first team. There was a guy called John Clark, who was a left arm spinner.
I love that. Every time you and Charlie talk about cricket, there's this hand action.
And he had a lovely action, John. Played for Lincolnshire minor counties in the day and stuff like that. Now, I don't know how old he would have been. He must have been early to mid 60s, playing first team cricket still. And do you know what his nickname was? Jurassic.
Oh, nice. I like it. Oh, that's even better.
That's brilliant. So his nickname Jurassic Clark, and it was lovely. And yeah, but he was definitely over 60. I'm pretty sure of it. Playing first team cricket at a decent level. Now, clearly, I think flying around, there's lots of older people and that playing village cricket, but that was at a proper good level, holding his own, taking wickets. Yeah, old Jurassic, not with us sadly.
Oh,
and then again at Boston, when I was captain the very first year, quickly before we move on, I was 19 as captain of the Premier League, and with John Henry, again, Jones, bless him, who's no longer with us, he had captained us the year before to get us into the Premier League, and then said, no, Premier League cricket's not for me now, because he would have been late 50s, probably mid to late 50s.
But if there was ever a sport where you can get away with age,
you can, because you can, and
to a degree.
Like John was a bowler. Well, he was an all-rounder really, but he sort of bowled these sort of little dobbers and a left-handed bat, and his eyes went a little bit, but could still catch. So you can get away with it. Anyway, we started without him in the Premier League, and we were finding it difficult, as we knew we would. And in the end, I had to go knocking on his door. Jones, come and help me out. Come and help me out. Okay, so we went to Sleaford away with a big club at that time, top club like that, and we ended up with a losing draw, which was a great result for lots of points. But they batted first, and if my brother was here, he would do it now across there. So Jones comes on by these little dobbers, and he stumped like their best, got the best batsman stumped by the leg side, and Jones came jigging down the wicket like this. I always remember his absolute class, but he would have been again mid to late 50s. Playing at a very good level and played for the rest of the year, ended up being our leading wicket taker.
Wow.
So I think he took his first 3 games in the Premier League, he took a 5 for, a 4 for, and then a 6 for.
Beautiful.
So, yeah. But yeah, good old, what's his name, 88 years old in goal.
Yeah.
Get him in sticks.
There we go, let's get him in. Right, okay, fancy football, finish off with this.
I'm just giving up, man.
We'll go with the weekly winner because it's actually a monthly winner as well.
Yes, yeah.
So Colin Jones won with a grand total of 69 points.
Oh, good number.
Great number.
Well done, Cole.
But the actual monthly winner, they're not even anywhere near, they moved up the league, but you'll love the team now. A son of Ice and Dyer.
I saw that. This is Mr. Brunch, isn't it?
It is, AJ. So Mr. and Mrs. Brunch have just won a free brunch.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, so your missus will be panicking now that they're going to come and review a lot. But yeah, I'll get on to...
Might be the void, actually, not brunch now, yeah, I think.
So we'll see what happens. But yeah, AJ's won the brunch, and Colin, who plays in the nation team, has won the weekly. So it's gone to 2 footballers this week.
Very good. Excellent, well done.
So we've got no Larkin this week. We're running massively over the normal, so we're going to leave Larks till next week. But Fernandez is out for me this week. You're getting out.
I think I made it. I can't remember. I did make it. I've already done mine. I can't remember what it was. I've just lost interest.
Yeah.
But I'm sticking with Kane and Son. That's all. I'm sticking with it.
That tells me everything I need to know.
Which is what?
What do we know?